The vision shown in this video has been recorded in a controlled setting for the purpose of product installation demonstration purposes only. LYSAGHT Longline is a striking cladding, combining slender high ribs and broad flat pans for a bold and beautiful visual. It is available with plain or fluted pans, or tapered for a fan-like effect where curvilinear roofs require a tailored cladding solution. This video will consider a roofing and walling installation application for non-cyclonic regions, focusing also on a mansard detail. As part of the LYSAGHT Zenith range, this profile is supported by the comprehensive Zenith Roofing and Walling Design and Installation Manual, which also has a cyclonic area variant. You will benefit from referring to this installation video and the detailed non-cyclonic manual together. The truly flexible LYSAGHT Longline 305 is available as a flat pan profile at 305mm cover width, a fluted 300mm cover width with subtle concertina type longitudinal pan stiffeners for use with the tapered profile, tapered with concertina type stiffeners running longitudinally in the pans, providing cover width varying from a wide end of 305mm down to a narrow end from as low as 145mm. Longline is available in a 0.7mm base metal thickness. LYSAGHT Longline 305 cladding is concealed fixed to supports. This means that clips are screwed to the supports and no fastening passes through the sheeting. There are two types of fixing clips, a top fixing clip and a start finishing clip to fasten the first and last sheets in a roof area. Fix the clips using wafer head screws into either steel or timber battens. The concealed fixed clips for Longline 305 allow for some alleviation of expansion and contraction of the sheeting, and lengths up to 24 metres may be readily achieved. A feature of the standing seam roof profiles, such as LYSAGHT Longline 305, is that the roof cladding can be aligned with the vertical wall cladding to create a seamless flow from roof to wall. This feature is known as a mansard roof detail. More on that shortly, but first we need to prepare the fixing surface. It's good practice to install a heavy-duty roof sarking on both roofing and wall applications of LYSAGHT Longline. Seal at the top. Ensure there are no ripples or puckers. Make all laps in the sarking with a 150mm lap. Tape with sisolation tape on at least the outside face. Best practice would be to seal the lap with double-sided tape first. Follow the manufacturer's installation recommendations. With the mansard detail, you will need to order your wall sheets over length to allow folding the pan and creating an underlap to the first perpendicular roofing batten. Similarly, the roof sheetings will need to be ordered over length to take into account the rib protrusions, so at least 50mm over length. A number of special tools are needed for Longline installation: a rib closer tool, a pan turn up, turn down tool, and the button punch tool. These tools are all available from LYSAGHT. To create the turn-up, at the top of the sheet, fit the tool over the end of the tray as far as it will go. Then push the handle to form a turn-up as close to 90 degrees as possible. You can turn up sheets anytime. If you do it after they are fixed, make sure there is sufficient clearance to operate the tool effectively. For maximum weather tightness, lay sheets toward prevailing weather. Before lifting sheets onto the roof, check that they are the correct way up. Also, that the overlapping side is toward the edge of the roof from which installation will start. You will find this much easier and safer than trying to turn sheets on the roof. Place bundles of sheets over or near firm supports, not at mid-span of roof members. Remove protective film just from the underlap rib as you go to prevent it getting trapped in the overlap. Only fully remove this sheet protection when work is complete. In preparation for laying sheets, start by cutting all starting finishing clips across the big hole in the clip and discard the unwanted pieces. To ensure that the barge flashings are equal on each side of the roofing run, attention should be given to align the first sheet considering the roof run and sheeting cover. Determine the location of the first wall sheet and mark the edge of the sheet across the battens using a string line or similar. Prepare and fix the first row of clips to the wall and roof. Either use the prepared starter clips as outlined earlier, or, if using the standard top fixing clips, flatten the fold over so the clip fits more easily into the female rib of the long line. Place the first wall sheet in position up against the clips. Mark the position of the fold in place at the height of the roof intersection. Carefully cut the pans of the wall sheet alongside each rib. Create a neat fold to match the roof pitch. Check in place. Use a rubber mallet if necessary to flatten the fold to match the roof pitch evenly. Place a roof sheet in position. Mark the protruding wall ribs to the roof rib height. Cut the wall ribs back to the rib height, so as to allow the roof ribs to sit over the wall ribs. Now trim and flatten the protruding ribs to have as flat a profile as possible, again to allow the roof ribs to fit more easily over the vertical ribs. Mark the roof rib pans to cut back to the roof wall intersection line, in place or to rib heights, 48mm. Cut back the roof rib pans to form a neat edge at the roof wall intersection. Mark angle in place to cut roof rib angle to match wall rib protrusions. Mark the trailing male rib to fit behind the wall end rib, so that the new roof sheet female rib can fit easily over this end. Cut overhanging rib angles. Position in place. When you are happy with the fit of both wall and roof panel, lock the wall panel in place along the wall edge using the button punch tool through the first row of the top fixing clips or by folding the tabs of the starter clips. Use the rib closing tool to squash the male rib at the locations where the clips will be fitted. Fit and screw clips to the battens over the male rib. To locate the clips in the later locking operation with a button punch, you might like to make a small mark in the pan with a felt tip pen. Prepare the overhanging wall panel flap to receive the roof panel with double-sided butyl tape and silicone. Fit the roof panel. Fine-tune positioning as necessary with the assistance of a rubber mallet. Lock in place with the button punch or fold over the tabs of the starter clips. Fit clips on opposing side of roof panel. Use the rib closing tool to squash the male rib at the locations where the top fixing clips will be fitted. Screw fix the clips to the battens over the male rib. Again, to locate the clips in the later locking operation with a button punch, you might like to make a small mark in the pan with a felt tip pen. Continue and fit panels in pairs, fitting each wall panel first. Mark, cut and create the fold over. With the roof panel in place, mark the height of the wall rib protrusions to cut back to. Squash the cut wall rib protrusions to help the roof panel fit over. Fit the female rib over the preceding panel's male rib. Make sure it clicks over the full length. Tailor the fold of the roof pitch with the aid of a rubber mallet. Prepare the roof panel by neatly cutting back 48mm, leaving the ribs to overhang. Mitre the visible ribs, but cut back the trailing male rib to sit behind the protruding wall rib. Once happy with the fit, lock the wall panel in place. And fit clips over the trailing edge. Butyl tape and silicone the fold over. Place roof panel in position. Then flatten the rib and fix clips to the roof battens. Button punching the wall sheets can be done as each sheet is fixed. However, roof fixing through the non-perimeter area may be more efficiently done after all the sheets are laid. Lock all lapped ribs along their length by button punching at the clips and, if necessary, between the clips, typically at 900mm centre to centre. When operating the punching tool on the roof, stand on the pan of the overlapping sheet to ensure that the sheets are fully engaged. Button punch through the hole in each top fixing clip. Locate the clip with the pen mark made previously, or measure to the centres used to set out the clips. Punching to a string line guide stretched across the sheeting is recommended, or similar straight edge technique, as random punching mars the appearance of the finished work. Assess how the last sheet will be fitted in relation to the fascia flashings. If using the pre-cut starting finishing clips, fix in position to the purlins and girts. Place the last sheet over the finishing clips and bend the tab of all clips over the rib. Or if using top fixing clips, fix the final sheet by button punching the final row of those. Let us consider walling and barge flashings as one process. The Australian Standard for Design of Flashings are referenced both in HB 39 2015 and the Zenith Design and Installation Manual. Our manual covers the common roof flashing detail, including hip and valleys. LYSAGHT produce all of these and any custom flashings to suit your individual requirements. The barge flashing needs to cover from the building external wall to over the sheeting first rib to provide a weather-tight solution. The fascia capping process is the same as for the other standing seam profiles, like LYSAGHT end seam demonstrated here. Set up the vertical cap before the barge. In situations where the corner top face exceeds 240 mm, install a top span 40 batted at the midpoint between the external wall and the first sheeting ridge to support the corner flashing. Use screws with a neoprene washer to ensure the right amount of flex between the sheets and the batten. Create a fold at the top end to allow for riveting the corner flashing to the roof batten. Complete the roof flashing detail, mitering the visual corner to create a neat overlap. Fit the top span support as per the wall capping. Design the ridge cap to cover the top of the roof sheeting by a minimum of 150 mm to allow the toes of the ridge flashing to sit well into the roof pan. Lay the ridge cap over the roof sheets in place and then mark to allow notching over the ribs and detail around the barge top ends. Notch and cut. Ensure a good fit. Across the ridge barge junction, mark 40 mm centres in preparation for drilling rivet holes. Remove swarf. Ensure a good silicone seal and rivet fix. Drill and rivet fix at each ridge. All longitudinal flashings need to be screwed or rivet fixed at a maximum 900 mm centres. The final task is to remove any protective film left on the sheets and give the completed surface an overall clean to ensure any mist, potentially rust staining swarf is removed.